Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News and welcome to the post match live analysis where we analyze Barcelona matches usually as soon as they end. Today, we're starting a few hours late. Now, you might be wondering why I haven't made any videos these last 2 days. And while I'm currently traveling for work, I'm not home. As you can see, I'm in a hotel bedroom and the airline lost my bag. My bag that had my laptop, my camera, everything that I need to make videos, they lost it. I recovered it today. I watched the Barcelona match, went to the airport, picked up my bag, and this is why I haven't done any videos in the last 2 days. But don't worry, now that I have my stuff back, I will be making videos. There's a lot to catch you up on because even though I didn't have my camera and my computer, I was still keeping up with Barca news. So don't worry, there's videos coming and I will be making more news. Now, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about, of course, today's victory against Athletic Club de Bilbao. Barcelona 4, Bilbao 0. The return, a historic return to our sacred grounds, our home stadium, our fortress, our Coliseum, the Spotify Camp Nou, because after 2.5 years being away, after more than 900 days being away, we are officially back at the Camp Nou, and I cannot be more happy because a lot of good things happened today. Not only we returned to our home stadium, but also we got a victory, three very important points, a thrashing, a convincing victory, the return of Joan Garcia, the return of Coutinho, and of course, the humiliation of Athletic Club de Bilbao. Because we needed to remind them that after all, when all the dust has settled, they are still a small club. And they needed to remember that because after the whole Nico Williams fiasco last summer and the summer before that, the whole Negreira thing with Athletic Club Bilbao issuing statements condemning Barcelona, refusing to go to Barcelona matches and meet with the president, Laporta, at the presidential suite, refusing to have the luncheon that teams usually have before a match. After all this drama, after all these insults, and all the media attention that Athletic Club were getting thanks to Barcelona, for some reason they started thinking that they can, that they're a big club, that they can step up to Barca, that they're at the same level. And well, today we needed to remind them that, hey, you might have kept Nico Williams, but guess what? You are still a small club. And today was a good reminder of that. Anyways, great day again. This is how you inaugurate a stadium, by winning, and not only by winning, but winning with a thrashing, with a 4-0. Because today in Barcelona, we needed to win. We absolutely needed to win. Not just because of La Liga title race, not just because we need the 3 points, and not just because Real Madrid could build the gap. But no, we needed to win because, again, today was a historical day. Today we returned to our sacred grounds, that Spotify Camp Nou. And while what a better way to inaugurate the stadium, to celebrate this return, than with a victory, and that's exactly what Barcelona did. But not only did the team give us a victory, they gave us a thrashing, and they gave us a convincing victory. Now, let's talk about the match itself, because I think the match, the way the team started, they were very motivated. You can see they came out on the field, very motivated, very excited to be there, playing with lots of intensity. And I think a lot of it had to do with the return to the stadium, because again, who wants to inaugurate a historical stadium with a defeat or a draw? That's not how you do it. So the team was very motivated, and you can see it. Plus, I really think that there is a Camp Nou effect, right? You can see it. You can see it on the television. With Montjuic, it's not really a football stadium. It's an Olympic stadium. It was built for the Olympics. As such, they have that track around the field, and the crowd is very far away from the pitch. But at the Camp Nou, a proper football stadium, the crowd is right there. The stadium was completely full. There wasn't a single empty seat, and you can just feel the atmosphere. You can just feel the passion. And that, I think, really helped fuel the players, aside from the fact, of course, that they were motivated to be back at our home stadium. And that was seen on the field because the team was playing with lots of intensity and the team was pressing. Today, the team did what they were supposed to do, and that is press. And as I've said a million times, it's not a highline problem, okay? The highline does not work when you don't press. Today, the team pressed, and guess what magically happened? The highline worked. Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought? But anyways, that team were pressing so well that not only the highline worked, but three out of the four goals came as a result from the press, as a result of the team stealing the ball in Athletic Club de Bilbao's half, which then resulted in goals. Because again, when you press, guess what? The system works. When you press, you recover the ball in the other team's half. It's a lot easier to score because you're right there. You don't have to run across the field. You are right there. And again, three out of the four goals came from pressing high. And of course, not only that, but the high line works. And today it worked because what? Say it with me. When you press, the high line works. Now the team started very motivated. We got a goal by Robert Lewandowski, who has become the first goal scorer of the new Spotify Camp Nou. Just another record to add to the huge legendary record of Robert Lewandowski, whether it be with Bayern or with Barca. And then after that, the team lowered their intensity. And we've seen this before. I think this is something that the team definitely needs to work on because after the first goal, the team definitely lowered their intensity. And as a result, we saw, Athletic Club Bilbao putting a little bit more pressure on us. It's still nothing like that was causing us any heartaches because I think this Athletic Club Bilbao is absolutely flat. They are a very, very weak team. I mean, Nico Williams, man, I think he lost 10 balls, 0 shots on target, 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 dribbles. I think he attempted 2 dribbles and 0. But anyways, Athletic Club Bilbao started kind of putting a little bit of pressure on us. Nothing that made you nervous. But nonetheless, that was strictly as a result of Barcelona reducing the intensity after the first goal. And then came Ferran Torres' second goal. I think the first 2 goals were a little bit, part of it was, of course, merit of Barca. But it was also a little bit of demerit of Unai Simon. Because I think those 2 goals, those 2 shots, he could have done a little bit more, right? Which begs the question, of course, and this is a question for Luis de la Fuente. If Spain are really hoping to win the World Cup, I don't know if Unai Simon really is the answer to that because I think, and maybe I'm being biased here because I'm a Barca fan, but I think Joan Garcia would make a much better option on that goal than Unai Simon. But anyways, halftime comes, second half, Barcelona corrected the path. They had veered off of it. They were playing with low intensity. They increased intensity a little bit more, and then we saw the third goal come. And then, of course, there was that clear red card on Athletic Club Bilbao player. There was also a clear penalty, by the way, in favor of Barcelona that was not given, but whatever. It didn't really matter. And then finally, after that, the match was pretty much over, and then the fourth goal was just a gift. So great victory, great way to inaugurate the Camp Nou. As far as the team itself, I'm seeing an improved Barca. Okay, we're not there yet. Don't get me wrong. We're not there yet, but we are moving in the right direction. Celta Vigo was a step forward. Today was another step forward. And of course, we're not going to go back to the same Barca of last season overnight. That takes time. But the positive thing is that we're seeing that we're moving in that direction. Are we there yet? No. Are we going to get there? If we continue building on this progress, absolutely. So that was really positive. As far as the players themselves, individual players, the ones who I want to mention, of course, Lamine Yamal. I think Lamine is back. There's no doubt about that. Today, Lamine did whatever the hell he wanted on that pitch. 2 assists. The assist to Ferran, well, both of them were Ferran Torres, but the first assist to Ferran Torres, with the outside of the boot. What a pass. My God. Chef's kiss. The other player, Fermin Lopez. Fermin Lopez continues to show us time and time again that we should bet on our academy players. There was no need to spend 60 million euros to bring Dani Olmo when we had Fermin Lopez there. Where time and time again, he shows us that he's a lot more valuable to Barca, to the Barca squad. And guess what? He cost us €0. And finally, Eric Garcia, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely empirical. Eric Garcia was the owner of that midfield. That guy can do it all. Center back, right back, left back, defensive midfield. Eric Garcia was absolutely brilliant today. 2 of Barca's goals was thanks to him stealing the ball, and he starts the whole sequence. Eric Garcia today, I didn't even remember that we had Frankie de Jong on the team because we didn't miss him. And this is not to talk bad about Frankie. This is to highlight how good Eric Garcia was. This is kind of like when we played against Celta, and I was like, I didn't miss Pedri today. Not because I'm trying to, take away from Pedri. Obviously, Pedri is the best midfielder in the world. But today, I did not miss Frankie. Not because Frankie's terrible, but because Eric Garcia was absolutely phenomenal. Now, anyways, that's all I have to say. I'm on cloud 9. It was a beautiful day. We returned to our home stadium. Coutinho is back, ladies and gentlemen. Joan Garcia started. Today, Joan Garcia just gives you this confidence. sometimes when Tech is there and you see an attack, you're like, I don't know, I'm a little nervous. You're on the edge of your seat. When Joan Garcia's in goal, I'm just like, they're attacking. That's cool. I don't care. But Joan Garcia just gives you this confidence that otherwise you don't get with Tech. But anyways, Joan Garcia back, Coutinho's back, victory, 3 points, thrashing. We reminded Athletic Club about how small of a club they are, and of course, the return to the Camp Nou. Anyways, I have my computer back now that the airline finally found my bag, so I will be making videos again. If you missed the beginning of the live stream, I was explaining why I haven't made videos the last 2 days. The airline lost my bag with my computer and camera, but I got it back today. So news videos will resume. I apologize for not making any videos the last 2 days. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I gotta go. Again, this is a work trip. I'm not on vacation until next week. This is a work trip, so I gotta go. Actually, my phone is ringing like crazy. I'm late. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. I will be making videos tonight, and of course, videos for the rest of the week now that I have my computer back. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, be scholars.